Thank you for joining me today. And in today's video, I mainly want to talk about positivity and just changing our perspective from our daily perspective to something beyond that can give us the capacity to be whatever and whoever we want to be in order to achieve our goal and reach the point that we're trying to make. There is one thing that is so crucial for us to remember, and that's having the inner strength, the inner power, and the inner motivation. So in this video, my whole goal is to remind you guys how to change that mentality that we have and shift it to something positive. Now, this is something that doesn't happen overnight, but with a little bit of a little adjustment, little tweaks, we can make something really powerful for ourselves, and we can truly shift our perspective to something greater, something more positive, and something that can last us a lifetime. These techniques, like I mentioned before, is techniques that can has been tested and they have shown actual result that will get you to your goal. And here's the thing, it's not uncommon to have some sort of negative perspective. By negative, I don't mean that you're a negative person, but what I mean by negative is to not remind ourselves of the good things that are happening through our day. So the goal of this video is pretty much to talk about how to manage and shift our mindset. First of all, before we get started, my name is Asan, your host today. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I have live session with you guys every day out of the week, 5 times a week. And we pretty much talk about mental health and the ways that you can improve your current self. And I am a therapist. I work with Timely MD, and I have been a therapist for quite a while now. But so let's get into it. What is mindset in general? What do we call a healthy mindset? A healthy mindset, if you ask me, it's a way of perceiving world based on the way that we want to perceive it. Now, the way that we want to perceive it, you have to focus on this because sometimes the way that I want to perceive something is completely different than the way that I feel I should perceive something. So it's really important, really crucial to understand what is it that you need versus what is it that you want. A lot of time we mix these things and we think that the things that I want are the things that I need. So when we don't get it, we get into the loop of losing hope and losing motivation, and we just go down, 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 down. So one thing to remember is that first of all, what is your priorities? I know I was when I was younger years ago, I used to always question myself and my choices, and I never had a great answer as of what is it that is important for me, what is it that helps me, and what is it that pushes me. And I always wondered how can I improve my life, how can I improve myself, my career, the things that I want to do. And I had these set of expectation that I had set for myself, which were completely unrealistic. One second, I am so sorry about this. Which were completely unrealistic, and they made me feel at lost. They made me feel empowered, and it was just not fun. It was devastating because at the moment that I wouldn't achieve what I had set my mind into, I would just become extremely disappointed. I used to procrastinate and just push myself back. But then there was a great experience that happened to me that just changed my thoughts. And the way was that after a while of not achieving my dreams, and by the way, when I was a kid, not a kid, but when I was a teenager, during my high school, I used to be extremely bad at school. I was always the last one to hand in the work. I always get bad grades. And I always wondered, why is it that I never achieve the things that I want to achieve? Why is it that I'm always behind? And to be honest, it wasn't because I was intelligent, or it wasn't because I was not motivated. It was just because I had my mind set on something that wasn't realistic for me at the moment. And when I wouldn't have achieved those unrealistic expectations of myself, I used to degrade myself. And through those degrading my unique self, I had always made the wrong choice. And that resulted in me not achieving my goal. So one thing that is important is to have realistic expectation of yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that you want? How is it that you want to be? You're living a life. Okay, what's wrong with the life that you live in? What would you adjust? What would you change? And if you had power, and this is something that I always tell my clients, I always tell them, imagine you have a magic wand. This little magic wand. This is the pen, but imagine, pick up a pen and just sit there and look at it, and imagine this pen is a magic wand, and it will grant any wish that you have related to yourself. What would you wish for? What would you ask this magic wand to do for you at this moment, here and now? Now, the answer that comes up is usually the thing that you desire the most. So ask yourself, for example, a better career, a better financial stability, or a way to be socially accepted, or famous, or whatever it is. And then ask yourself, why haven't I got there? What has it been in my life that has limited me from achieving my goal? You know, I was working with one of my clients, and he mentioned that he always wanted to become a doctor, but he has never been able to achieve his dream because his grades are low, and he fears that he will not pass his MCAT. So I asked him, why do you think that this is happening? And he said, because I always doubt myself, and it results in my procrastination. And when I procrastinate, I don't usually turn in my stuff on time. When I don't turn in my stuff on time, it's like a giant loop of things getting bigger and bigger and bigger, to a point that it becomes devastating. So the goal of our life is to first recognize, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I wish? What is it that I want to have? And then to recognize, what is it that is preventing me? And now, like I mentioned today's video, our goal is to remind ourselves to focus on the good things. Now, negativity always exists. It's not a bad thing. It's part of life. And I always tell my client, this is the way that you should look at life. There is good side, there is bad side. But the bad side is actually the good side, which we don't recognize it. Hear me out. The bad side of life is what makes life happen, is what drives us to be who we are. But the thing is that sometimes we feel that life is supposed to be glorious. But if life was glorious 24/7, that would be a pretty boring life. Think about it. Why is life fun? Why is roller coasters fun? Why is going to school sometimes, getting a degree is fun? Why is driving fun? Flying fun? All of these things are fun because they embedded within them, there is a level of scarcity, there is a level of stress, there is a level of unbalanced state of self at that time. And that unbalancedness causes us for adrenaline to rush into our body and makes things exciting. That excitement is what makes things fun. But the thing is that excitement exists because at one point those things are not fun. Roller coaster. You get scared. Personally, I am terrified of roller coasters. But it's the funnest thing that I can ever say. It's really fun. And the thing is that it is fun because at one point during that ride, it puts me on a level that makes me excited. So that excitement, what makes it fun. So being stressed, being anxious is not a bad thing. But the problem is that when we look at it from a negative perspective, instead of using it to our advantage, we use it to procrastinate. We use it to become fearful of the things that we are doing. You see what I mean by that? So it's all about changing your perspective to your reality. The moment that you change your perspective to your reality is the moment that your reality shifts from that negative perspective to a positive perspective. And sometimes these things can affect themselves to a point that whatever we do, it's really difficult to change that perspective. So the goal of this video, the goal of ourselves at this moment is to find little things to remind ourselves of the things that are important to us, the things that make us happy, the things that give us energy, the things that motivate us, and the thing that allows us to be our best. So here's what you need to do. The best way to do this, and I swear to God, this works 9.9 times out of 10. And the best way to do it is to find little moment throughout your day that gives you joy. Let's say you're stressed about school. School is something that gives you stress. Okay, got it. Have that thought right here. Find one thing that you like about school. Maybe meeting your friend, maybe going to the cafeteria, maybe the drive to school, maybe, I don't know, your graduation, whatever gives you joy in school. Find one thing about it. I'm sure there must have been one thing about it that gives you joy. Otherwise, why are you even doing it, you know? So find that one thing and then think about it. So let's say right now, what gives me stress is my work. Let's say, I don't know, what gives me stress? What gives me stress is flying on the plane. Truly, going on a plane gives me a lot of anxiety because I feel like there is no room to escape. And it always scares me because I know if something goes wrong, there is no way to get out of it. So I don't have phobia on flying, but I'm always scared of flying. But I always fly. Whenever I'm trying to travel, I always choose plane. And the way that I do it is that I tell myself, okay, I understand flying gives me stress, but let's find something good within it. So I think about, okay, I get to reach my destination faster. This is amazing. I don't have to waste my time driving. Okay, let's think about this. Oh my God, I'm gonna get to my destination in a couple of hours. That's amazing. I'm gonna reach my family. I'm gonna reach my friend. I'm gonna reach my destination. That's awesome. I get happy. Then, again, that thought is done. It's over with. I'm gonna think about something else positive. You know what? And I know this is really cheesy, but I love plain food. The food that they serve when you're flying, I think it's the most amazing food ever, even though it's not that great. But the fact that I get to eat while I'm flying on that little tray that we have in front of us, it's amazing. So I think about that. I'm like, oh, Think about the food. What food am I gonna get? And I usually, before flying, in order to get myself excited, I go to their website and I pre-order my food. I say, okay, I want this, 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 this. Usually the thing that I get Pringles, I get cream Irish vodka, and I don't know, a couple other things. Ginger ale. Okay, that gave me excitement. Let's think about something else. What else do I like about flying? What else do I like about flying? I get to sit by the window. I always make sure that my seat is next to the window. So you see what happened? Now my stress doesn't look as big as it used to be. Because before, this was my stress, and this was something that I was afraid of, and this was something that I wasn't afraid of. There was nothing that I wasn't afraid of and I wasn't happy. But now when I remind myself of the good thing that happened during the plane ride, now this thing is adding up to it and kind of balancing them out. Stress still exists. Stress of flying still exists, and the goal is not to just eliminate it, because by eliminating it, you're masking it, because you're lying to yourself, basically, and this is not what we want to do. That stress exists. The stress of something going wrong still exists. And I'm not going to trick myself into, oh no, nothing is going to happen, nothing is going to go wrong, because the moment that I do that, and I'm flying, the very first moment that we get into a turbulence, then I'm just gonna freak out, you know? So the goal is not to ignore the possibility of something going wrong. Remind yourself that something might go wrong at any time, and it's okay. But I also push myself and remind myself of the little things that can make me happy one step at a time. And the moment that you do this, the moment that you're able to remind yourself of the good thing and accept what is there that is causing you stress, now it's much more easier to achieve your goal. It's much more easier for me to book my next ticket and fly to wherever I want to fly. Now, this was just an example. Imagine your career. Let's say you want to get a job and you're scared of applying for that position. Okay, that scarcity exists. That you being scared of doing what you want exists. Don't try to neglect it, because the moment that you try to neglect it, you're fooling yourself. Being scared of applying for a job is real. We're all get nervous of it. This is not something that only belongs to you. It's something that belongs to everyone in this world. And if somebody tells you they're not scared of going to an interview, they're mistaken. They're lying to themselves, because that stress and anxiety exist. It is normal to have those stress and anxiety. But the problem is that the difference is that some people are more capable of managing and reminding themselves of the good things about going to an interview. For example, getting a better job, getting a better pay, buying that dream house that they want to buy, maybe advancing their career. When they remind themselves of these little things, not little, but in the case of getting a job, these are big things. But when you remind yourself of these things, they can push you to be your best. Happy Monday. Yeah, of course. Thank you very much for commenting, Barbara. So here's the thing. Remind yourself of those things. And once you remind yourself, you're more capable of combating that negative thought that is pushing you back in order to achieve your goal. Let me give you another example. Let's say you're afraid of going to school. You don't know how you're going to do. Like I said, like we talked at the beginning of the video. Think about the fun things about your school. Think about the moment that you graduate. And here's the thing, you have to try. This is the key part. You have to try to imagine it. So sit down with yourself and imagine those good moments. Let's say you want to go to school and you're scared of going to school. You're scared of getting that degree. Think about your graduation. How do you feel when you graduate? How does that make you feel? It makes you feel excited, I'm sure. Think about it. Sit down, close your eyes, take a deep breath, take it all in, hold it for a couple of seconds, and let it out. And now, think about the moment that you graduated. Picture yourself there. Imagine yourself at that moment that you're walking on that stage. How does that feel? Who do you see in the audience? Who's coming to your graduation? What are they saying to you? The moment that you're able to do this, you're shifting your mindset. And now your brain is wiring differently. Your brain is no longer looking for the negativity. Your brain is now looking for what positive aspect can I grab throughout my day about the things that is making me stress. So stresses also almost becomes disappearing, almost becomes defeated. The goal is not to eliminate stress because stress is part of us, fight or flight. If you don't have stress, then there is something wrong with you, because without stress, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to stay where you are for the rest of your life. It is those stressful moments that push you to be your best. So instead of thinking negatively about it, try to extract positive things out of it. And the moment that you're extracting those positive things out of it, that's the moment that you start shaping your life. You start molding it the way that you want to mold it. And once you mold it in that way, that's the moment that you make the difference. That's the moment that you make your life happen for you. That's the moment that you focus on you, yourself, and you only and only. And that is a magical thing. That is that magic wand that I told you. Because things don't happen overnight. One thing you have to understand. Things will take time for them to happen. But the moment that you prepare the environment for those things to happen, that's the moment that they take that little boost of being what they want to be. And once you have that boost, anything is possible. It's remarkable when you think about it. The concept of positivity is not something unreachable. It's not something unachievable. The concept of positivity is simply embedded within changing our mindset. And the moment that you're able to change your mindset, the moment that you're able to shift your mindset from those negative aspects of your life, that's the moment that you embrace positivity and you embark on yourself new journeys to achieve your goals, even the goals that are so high in the sky that makes it unbelievably difficult and challenging to achieve. Now they become something that they just make you motivated. They just make you excited. Now, instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm stressed about going to the interview that I have, you're excited about that interview that you have. Why? Because now you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be stressed, but look at all these good things that are happening to me. Look at all those positive things that are happening to me. I am extremely excited about it. Changing mindset, changing reality. Changing reality, changing yourself, changing your future, shifting your past negative thoughts, shifting your current negative thought into something positive, into something achievable, into something realistic. And the moment that it's realistic, that unbalancedness becomes easily to handle. Like, look at this. Do you know that game that they used to play when we were kids? We used to shake the pen and it felt like the pen is not solid and it's just wobbling around. Now because of the camera it's not happening, but if you look at this pen from my perspective, it feels like that the pen is just wobbling around. That's the power of our mind. Our mind gets tricked really easily. But the thing is that it is also easy to shift that negative or that delusional stress, that delusion of anger, that delusional depression, that delusional anxiety. Now, there are some stress and anxieties that are higher above this tier, and those require further in depth sessions, maybe therapy, maybe medication to deal with. But the first step, the first and most important step, is to recognize, okay, what mindset do I have? Let's work on it from this perspective. If this worked, then okay. If it didn't work, let's take another step. But you have to first go through this first step of self-acceptance and self-understanding. And the moment that you're able to do this, that's the moment that you open the door of possibility for yourself to make your reality the way that you wanted to make it. You know? So don't look for ways that you could neglect your stress. Go towards it head on. Embrace it. Embark on it. Look at it as a new challenge. Look at it as something that you want to defeat, you want to achieve, you want to pass. And the moment that you were able to do that, that's the moment that your reality will shift. Remind yourself. Write it down on a sticky note. Write those little things that we talked about on a sticky note. Truly, that really makes a difference. Have that sticky note right next to you. And whenever you get stressed, take it out. Read it. Okay, this gives me stress. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Okay. And then look at the rush that comes into your body. Look at the happiness that comes into your body. Look at the changes that comes into your body. Look at the things that will make you happen. The things that will make you happy. The things that will push you to embark on your next journey. It's all about those little moments. And the very moment that you embrace those little moments, that's the time that you change, you shift your perspective. Our mind is very flexible. They actually call it plasticity. Why? Because it's made out of plastic. That's what they call it. It's not made out of plastic, but they say it's plasticity because it's like plastic. You can mold it to whatever you want to mold it. Think about it. Think about a grandma who never knitted in her life. And now she is going to a nursing home, and while she's at her nursing home, she has a group of friends, which her friends started to knit. And now, whenever Christmas comes, she has knitted you new scarf, new gloves, all of these things. What happened? She didn't know all of these stuff. When did she learn? The thing is that we always learn. We never stop learning. It's all about creating the right environment for our brain to learn the things that makes us who we are, to make the things that makes us happy. And whenever we have something that gives us joy, we open ourselves through possibility. And it is through those possibilities that we make our life happen for ourselves. So stop sitting down and telling yourself you can't achieve anything. Stop telling yourself that you're scared. Stop telling yourself that you will never reach it. Tell yourself, I can, I will, I am. And then see the difference that happens in your life. See the changes that will take in place. It is truly those changes that make you happen, make you be who you are. When you take those risks, you become who you want to be. When you don't take those risks, you become who other people want you to be. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they told me that they were scared of doing something. They were scared of taking a change, making a change in their life. And my reply to them was that it is that scared feeling that helps you achieve your goal. Because anyone who achieves something beyond gets scared. Those who don't get scared, those who don't get stressed, they will never achieve anything. They will never achieve their dreams because they're doing mundane stuff. We want to remove ourselves from doing those mundane things and start doing something positive. So ask yourself, what do you want? How do you see yourself? How do you feel about what you see? Is it good? Perfect. Does it require a little bit of change and a little bit of attention? Then okay, what does it need to be changed? What does it need to be, what do you need to give attention to? And then once you do this, once you remind yourself of those things, then it's truly magical the way that your life transforms overnight. That magic once becomes a reality. So now you want to become a doctor. You say, bam, I am on the journey. I am on the path. Next thing you know, you're walking down your graduation aisle. Everybody's cheering for you. You and you only. You want to get that dream job? Bam. You're on your interview and you kick ass. And everybody loves you. They want you to be part of their team. You want to start your business? There you go. Now you started that dream business that you always wanted to start. You're scared, but you love that scared feeling. You love that stress. Because that stress reminds you of the things that you will accomplish. That stress reminds you of the things that you will achieve from it. Just like cooking, eating. Eating is the most hardest thing on the planet. But we don't give it that much attention. Eating is difficult because you got to prepare food, you got to buy food, you got to do all of these things. You got to work, have a job, get money, have a place to cook your meal, and then eat it for 5 minutes. And after that 5 minutes, you have to clean up, you have to put this stuff back in your fridge. So why is it so enjoyable? It's because you remember and you remind yourself of the happy thought during your eating. And then you embark on it. You take the journey, you take the challenge. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. It's been a crazy week since I started this live sessions. I hope that you guys find some value out of it. If you did find some value, make sure to share this video. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. I wish you all nothing but the best, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So don't forget, hit that subscribe. It's really easy. Share, get notified, and then maybe share it to your friend. If you think they might enjoy this, share it to them. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, and have a lovely day.